Hello and welcome to the City of Peoria Planning and Zoning Commission. The Planning and Zoning Commission is composed of volunteer citizens appointed by the City Council. The Commission is the designated hearing body for a range of land use applications, including general plan amendments, rezones, conditional use permits, and amendments to the zoning code. Upon recommendation by the Commission, general plan amendments, rezones, and zoning code amendments proceed forward to the Peoria City Council for final action. For conditional use permits, the Commission will make a final decision subject to appeal. All hearings are conducted in accordance with the rules for procedure requirements to allow an impartial and efficient hearing, and all Commission meetings are open to the public under the Arizona Open Meeting Law. Each case will be called in the order in which it appears on the agenda unless otherwise announced during the meeting. Once called, City staff will give a presentation of the case, followed by a presentation from the applicant if they so desire. After the applicant's presentation, members of the public who have submitted a speaker's request form will be called to speak by the Commission Chair. The applicant may be called to provide additional information, clarification, or a rebuttal. The Commission will discuss the case, may ask additional questions, and take action. Any member of the public wishing to speak must complete a speaker's request form and hand it to the planning assistant at the end of the dais. When speaking, please limit your comments to a maximum of 3 minutes and try not to repeat statements already made by others. We welcome your comments, and as fellow citizens of Peoria, we thank you in advance for your participation.
Good evening. I'd like to call our August 7th meeting of the Peoria Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Welcome, everyone. Excited to be here, feeling refreshed after being able to take a break. I want to thank Vice Chair Phyllis Senor for standing in as my family, my husband, and our 2 toddler boys and I had the opportunity to extensively travel through the Bible Belt. So excited to be back. Let's start off our roll call, commissioners. I'll go ahead and call the roll. Vice Chair Phyllis Senor.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Nate Cottrell. Absent. Commissioner Julie Aguia.
Present.
Commissioner Fighter.
Present.
Commissioner Gaynor.
Present.
Thank you all. This is our final call for speaker request forms. If you would like to address the commission, please fill out a speaker request form. We have them available. Usually we have them available at the entrance, but we will also have some available with Mrs. Duffy. And if you still want to turn one in, feel free to hand those to her. The first item we will address is our regular routine consent agenda. All of the items on our consent agenda are considered routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. We have 2 items on the consent agenda, which is 1C, which will be the disposition of absence of myself, the chair, and Commissioner Fighter for the July 17 meeting. Is that incorrect? Oh, he was here. We have a typo, so please note, Commissioner Cottrell. And then item 2C from the July 17th meeting are approving our minutes. Seeing that we do have an amendment, what I will do is...
I think it's incorrect here, but it's correct on this agenda.
Okay. It's incorrect here, but it's correct on agenda, so we do not have an amendment. Thank you, commissioners. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda 1C and 2C.
Thank you.
I'll
Do we have a-
second.
Thank you, commissioners. Let's vote. Oh, sorry. Thank you, commissioners. The motion passes unanimously. All right, commissioners, let's move on to our new business. Our new business, the first item that I see is item 3R, which will be Alora Vita, I always messes up, Southwest Circulation, the minor general plan amendment, which is GPA 25-02. Staff, don't know who's presenting, but can we please present? Thank you. Mrs. Dirks,
Yep.
please present. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, members of Commission. My name is Sarah Dirks. I'm a senior planner with the City of Peoria, and I will be presenting the Alora Vita South Circulation request, which is a minor general plan amendment, case number GPA 2502, for a circulation plan change.
Could you do me a favor, Mr. Dirks? Bring that microphone a little bit closer. Thank
Sorry.
you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Is this better? Perfect. Okay. So the application you have before you was submitted by Clint Morris of Wood Patel on behalf of the property owner Pulte Homes Company, LLC. The property is located in the southern square mile of the Alora Vita South PCD, more specifically around the northeast corner of West Wing Parkway and Happy Valley Road. The project size, or the collector that's being requested to be removed, is approximately 1/3 of a mile. And the request is to remove it from the circulation plan. Just to orient everyone to the property location, the subject site is located in, as I said, Alora Vita Southwest, which is the southern square mile of the Alora Vita South PCD. The property is currently vacant, and it is located in an undeveloped area of the PCD. In the general area, you have land designated for single-family residential. To the north is existing residential in the Rock Springs area, followed by the area shaded in purple, which is undeveloped, Alora Vita Southwest. And then you have 2 collector roads. And then to the east, you have Alora Vita South areas that have been developed. And then to the south, you have another portion of undeveloped residential, followed by the Trailhead mixed-use development, which has been constructed or is in the process of being constructed, and it's anchored by the Safeway grocery store. To the west, you have additional single-family residential, including the West Wing Mountain PCD, which is located west of West Wing Parkway, and there's a portion that is the Sunrise Mountain Preserve. Providing you with some additional background, the Alora Vita PCD is, as mentioned, a 2 square mile PCD. It's broken up into 2 square miles. This particular portion is located on the southern section, which is generally oriented on the south west corner of Joe Max in the 75th Avenue alignment. The general plan circulation map that was adopted, it captures the circulation plan that was initially contemplated for the Alora Vita PCD, which was approved around 2011. Over time, the development has changed, as many developments do, and so the request has been formulated based on those changes. A few things to recognize is that the Trailhead development, which is located on that south west side of the property, just directly south of the collector, it was removed in 2022, removing 26 acres from the Alora Vita South parcel, decreasing the density and the number of lots that were initially contemplated in the area. The existing circulation plan, it has 2 collectors, Kiefer Trail and Yearling Road, which are just north of the collector. And the request, and then in 2024, so just last year, 260 acres were sold, and that's colloquially known as the Alora Vita Southwest area, for a future preliminary plat or development for single-family residential. The area that is known as Alora Vita Southwest is shaded in purple on your screen. And then the collector itself is highlighted in red, and it would be the southern of the 3 collectors. So diving in a little bit more, The application that is before you today, it's not a land use change, so we're not questioning the development itself as single-family residential. It's been zoned and entitled for residential for quite some time now. The request itself is really focused on circulation. So as part of the request, the applicant submitted a traffic impact analysis for the GPA request to remove the collector. A TIA, or a traffic impact analysis, what it does is it evaluates the service levels and the safety of a development if, say, the circulation were to change. So specifically looking at whether or not Yearling Road or Kiefer Trail provide enough capacity for that third collector to be removed. Taking into consideration that the trailhead development was approved in 2022, it removed the anticipated density, reduced the size of Alora Vita South, and also it's kind of a self-sufficient development, so they don't have any traffic going into the residential area. Everything goes to the south or to West Wing. The justification for removing the collector was made for that removal in the TIA. One thing to note with the applicant's request, despite requesting to remove the collector, they are proposing to put a pedestrian bridge across where that alignment would have been so that the residents will still have that pedestrian connection despite not having vehicular connection. The request was properly noticed. We advertised it to everyone within a quarter mile of the collector alignment, along with HOAs within 1 mile. There was a public meeting hosted by the applicant. There was one neighbor who attended, and there has not been any written support or opposition related to the GPA request. So in summary, a few things to consider is that the reduction of lot area in Alora Vita South did provide justification for the removal of the collector. The circulation plan changes reflect the existing changes and conditions within Alora Vita, and it aligns with the future need for the area. And the proposed circulation plan without the third collector will meet the standards and support the development. So with that, staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of the GPA 2502 to City Council. And if you have any questions, I'm here. We do also have our assistant city traffic engineer, as well as the applicant team, who has a presentation if you'd like to hear it.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Dirks. Great presentation. Do I have any questions from commissioners?
Yeah, I have a question.
Commissioner Gia.
Yeah, just, it looks like there's going to be a school built in that area, and taking away that roadway, how does that affect the flow of traffic once that school's in place? And if there is a traffic issue once the school's in place, can the roadway be put in?
Good evening, Chair and Commissioner Agia. So currently, there is no plan for that school. We're reserving the space, and stop me if I'm speaking incorrectly, but the space is being reserved. There were only in parcel 13, which is the isolated piece on the east side of West Wing, about 70 homes that might wish to use that.
I'm sorry, can you talk closer? And it's really hard to hear.
Oh, sure.
Thank
Better?
you.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so in parcel 13 on the east side of West Wing, there's about 70 homes. That's that parcel that might seem a little isolated, but really there's not a whole lot of density in there. Part of the idea of maintaining that pedestrian access is that they would have a convenient way to walk to school. Hopefully, people so close to the school would choose to walk, being within the walking boundary. As for vehicle traffic, there will still be excellent access to West Wing Parkway. The plan is for a roundabout. And then to the east, there's 77th Lane, and to the north, there's Yearling. So there are options to go around. There's just not the most convenient option to go through for those 70 homes.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Gaynor?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a question also about the pedestrian bridge. School started, and it's 118 out today. So will there be shade on that bridge? Will there be any protection for the kids as they walk? What does that proposal look like?
Chair, members of the commission, that would be something that we would be closer evaluating within the preliminary plat and final plat stage. When we are looking at bridge and pedestrian considerations, we'll look at the material, how it goes across. We do try to provide trees and shade where appropriate. We do want to be cognizant, not necessarily for our smallest individuals, but for all individuals that might be wanting to use it. So that would be a question that we would handle through the preliminary plat process as we're getting into the I's and T's on the lotting configuration itself. Shade is always a part of our analysis when we do the review of the preliminary plat. So we do want to be cognizant that going into the site, using the pedestrian bridge, going out of the site, that is something that we are considering, not only for daytime use, but nighttime use as well.
And can this body condition shade, or is that a process that would have to come back through zoning?
Chair, we would recommend advising, talking with the applicant to see how best to handle that. Rock Springs Wash is a considerable sized wash. It handles a lot of water. We do want to be cognizant in terms of asking for what is needed to go across that amount of water. So that is something that we can take under consideration.
Yeah, thank you, and I'm glad that we put it on record, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Gaynor. Very valuable point. I mean, in these weather conditions, shading should definitely be something that we mention for safety purposes, so thank you. I know that we have the applicant here, and after I finish with the commissioners, I will definitely call them up. Did I have any other commissioners with questions? Yes, we do. Welcome, Commissioner Cottrell. Thank you for joining us.
First of all, is this on? I apologize. I was locked out the door. I was standing out there in this heat for a while. So.
We were trying to keep you out.
You didn't want my input. Did I, Steph, did I hear correct that school is no longer going to be proposed? It's going to be not there?
Chair, Commissioner, currently the school site is reserved. And it stays in that way in perpetuity. There's no change being contemplated with the land use.
Okay, so it's just not now, basically.
Correct.
I do have one more question.
Yes.
Reference like a public safety response. Would this delay any type of public safety response from getting into the residents in that area?
Chair, Commissioner, all of our applications are sent to the departments for consideration. We received no response from the police department on this matter.
Thank you. Commissioner Fider?
Yeah, you can actually see on the aerial, you can see the closest fire station, so that's on the north side of Jomac. So they have not submitted preliminary plat yet. I assume this is intended to happen before the preliminary plat to pick up additional lots?
The preliminary plat, Chair, members of commission, the preliminary plat application was recently submitted. We just completed the first review, and we're in the process of evaluating the plan further.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna hop in there, and this just gonna be for elaboration. I got stuck on the removal of the 26 acres. That's a lot of density. So could we elaborate what happened there? Did the applicant originally have those 26 acres, or I just heard that comment, and I just want to know how that impacted the project.
Sure. Thank you, Chair, members of the commission. Hopefully that's loud enough. I don't want to yell in your ears also. I'll talk that way. So as you can see on the left side of the screen here, Olora Vita was originally 2 square miles, and as much as you can get a square, it was those full 2 square miles. What you see as the carve out, and in the middle screen you can see a good depiction of what the carve-out was from that square for the trailhead development. That carved out 26 acres so that it could function as a mixed-use center for the, quote-unquote trailhead development. So that incorporates multifamily, that incorporates retail and restaurant uses as a part of the overall trailhead development. Being that it was developed as a mixed-use center, the idea is all of the access and functionality works together. So in order for that to work well, they utilized the adjacent arterial roadways, meaning they turned in to themselves rather than forcing traffic north through what would end up being a neighborhood. So they were able to convey vehicles to the immediately adjacent West Wing Parkway and then Happy Valley Road for better functionality so that they weren't sending those trips through the neighborhood. As a result of that 26-acre removal, you can see there, the area that would remain a part of the Pulte portion of the development for Alora Vita is very narrow in between the collector and the trailhead development. So functionally, the need for that southern collector was removed because you're not funneling all those homes to that collector and then out to West Wing Parkway. So that was the impetus behind the removal of that and trying to provide a logical traffic solution, being that the acreage that was intended to utilize that collector functionally was turned away from it.
Thank you for that elaboration. I believe we had one more commissioner with a comment.
Yeah, I think your question was partly my question as well. So we do not have a visual then of homes actually laid out in this area.
Chair, Commissioner Villasenor, we have a preliminary plat submittal. A part of our procedures is we would evaluate that at the staff level. Preliminary plats do not come before the commission, but we certainly take into account when we have feedback like shade along a trail segment or those sorts of things. We try and capture those in coordination with the applicant during that administrative review.
Yeah, I certainly understand that, and that's totally appropriate. It's hard for me because without seeing how this is what it really looks like with homes laid in, I don't understand exactly how many homes are being reduced from the original idea, because you're saying, well, density's been reduced. Well, by how much? It would be helpful, I think, if we could see that. Is the collector of this to be removed, does that need to be approved before their site plan, essentially?
So this is a part of the evaluation, and in order to proceed forward with the proposal that they have, we would need to approve the general plan amendment. That's correct.
Yeah.
As far as an evaluation
honestly, I have a little pause because I feel like the presentation's lacking some data in terms of number of homes. The majority of me trust the experts here that are actually doing this every day, and I think if the traffic guy is saying, yeah, this works, if public safety, I agree, is good, I do trust that, but I think I would appreciate perhaps something that gives me a little more visual of, it was supposed to be this many homes, now it's gonna be this. Because I would hate to impact future homeowners in that area if Kiefer Trail and Yearling is not enough for that development.
Sure. Chair, Commissioner Villasenor, so the area that was removed, the density that was contemplated for that, I believe was somewhere between 2.3 and 2.8 dwelling units per acre at 26 acres. So we're looking at about 50-ish homes.
50-ish houses.
I'm not good at mental math, but
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
rough
so that
number.
isn't alarming to me.
75 homes.
Yeah, that's not super alarming to me. I'm just saying that would be helpful, I think, some of that data, because 75 homes is, 70 trips. Something like that. That's not a lot. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Phyllis Senior. I know that we have the applicant who so gracefully joined us, and I know that I didn't see anything for speaker request form. So applicant, would you have any comments? Would you like to join us? Thank you. Please state your name for the record. And then as they're queuing up your presentation, please state your name as the applicant. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Am I good on the microphone here?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Andrew Yancey. I'm an attorney with Bergen, Frank, Smalley, and Oberholzer. For your records, we're at 4343 East Camelback Road in Phoenix. We're here representing Pulte Homes. They were the successful bidder at the state land auction for this final piece of Alora Vita, about 274 acres that is going to be known as Alora Vita South. Really want to thank staff for their presentation. I think that was a lot of good information they were able to provide. I'm not going to walk through a full presentation here. I do have one graphic that I think will help answer some of the questions that have been asked here this evening. I just want to note as well, we're not here asking for increased density. We're not here asking for changed development standards. Thank you. This is an application for the removal of a collector road. In some cities, we wouldn't even have to be here for this. That would be a pre-plat issue that is handled at the staff level. Peoria's general plan includes not only arterials, but collector roads within the general plan. So because it's a line on the map, we have to go through the process when we're making this application. And I do just want to clarify, this is not a constructed road that we're removing. There's not even right-of-way dedicated. This right now is a line on a map for a future roadway that we're talking about removing. I just want to make sure everybody understands. We're not removing pavement. We're not taking asphalt off the ground. What I want to just click forward to here really quickly is just kind of understand how the trailhead development factors into what we're talking about here. You can see that there's kind of those three. Actually, let me back it up one, excuse me. If you look at the image on the left, that shows West Wing Parkway coming down, and then you have three separate collector roads, Kiefer Trail, Yearling, and the Southern Collector, that are supposed to feed into Prickly Pear Trail, which is also a collector. So that is, the purpose of a collector is really to take trips from the local area, collect them, and take them out to the arterial, the faster moving roadway. Here you have three collector roadways leading from Prickly Pear out to West Wing, the arterial, where you want the traffic to be. And there's three collectors within a half mile of each other. That's really a lot of collector roads in one spot. You don't really see that anywhere else on the general plan map. So what we're looking at here when we're talking about the impact of the trailhead development, this road is not a regional roadway. It's not taking trips from far away to somewhere else. It would be serving people trying to get from West Wing Parkway to Prickly Pear, or people from that neighborhood really trying to get to West Wing Parkway would be the primary purpose of it. So going forward now, on the left here is an image of what the Alora Vita zoning map was back in 2020. That's when the last version of the general plan was approved. You look down in the south, you see that large yellow area there. That was all supposed to be single-family residential within Alora Vita. Those people would have fed onto that collector road in order to get out onto West Wing Parkway. Then you look at the image on the right. Trailhead development, that was approved in 2022. As staff said, it created a mixed-use community that has its own access directly onto either West Wing Parkway or Happy Valley. That means they wouldn't push anybody up to that collector. So that's hopefully a little visual that'll help you understand. And I think we got some good mental math from staff on the number of units, but there was no plan for actual home layouts at that time. It was just a yellow area with a assigned density and a number of acres. So we did have the traffic engineers take a hard look at this, and I don't know if you've done a whole lot of review of TIAs, but traffic engineers speaking kind of a very specific language. It's very technical. Sometimes they don't necessarily come right out and tell you what their conclusions are. But here, when they looked at this southern collector, they said it no longer serves a functional connectivity purpose. And that is about as close as you'll ever get a traffic engineer to say, there's just no need for this roadway. The other thing that I'd like to point out, because I think Commissioner Villasenor, you made a good point about what happens if Kiefer or Yearling gets overrun. So they looked at that, and they did an analysis without this southern collector. For reference, I'm going to throw some numbers at you, so bring me back if you need to. A collector roadway is anticipated to hold between 7,500 and 9,000 trips per day. When they looked at Yearling without the southern collector, it would be carrying 1,700 trips per day, far below the collector threshold. Kiefer would be even less, 1,200 trips per day, still far below that 7,500 to 9,000 level for a collector roadway. So those two collector roadways are at like 25% of capacity, even without this southern collector being a part of it. So that's the analysis that's given us comfort that it's an appropriate action to take care of. Again, I really appreciate all the staff's work on this and also their presentation and answers here this evening. I'm happy to answer any other questions you have, but hopefully that was a little helpful context.
Thank you so much. That definitely gave us more of a visual. Vice Chair, that just definitely did help me. And, my only comment is that I don't think we had any comments from public safety. The only reason why is because usually when I'm thinking about emergency responses, collector roads are used, right, to have fastest access to a place. And so if there is no objection from public safety, I don't see what the issue would be. But, that was my first thing. And I think we didn't have any comments from public safety, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Fider? No? All good. All right, will do. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, applicant. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Thank you for that elaboration. Thank you. Seeing no more comments from commission or staff, I will open the public hearing. Seeing no speaker request forms, I will now close the public hearing. If there are no other comments, questions, or concerns, what I would like to do is I would like to move forward and get a motion for item 3R. Commissioners, can I get a motion?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve item 3R, Alora Vita Southwest Circulation Minor General Plan Amendment, GPA 25-02.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Properly moved and seconded. Can I get a vote, commissioners? Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, commissioners. And the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, commissioners, let's move on to the next agenda item, which will be an open call to the public. I didn't receive any requests. I didn't receive any additional speakers that came. No, Mrs. Duffy? All right, there we go. Thank you. So seeing none, let's move to our last agenda item for today, which will be item 4R, which will be reports from staff. Staff, please present.
Do I just need to click it? We're going to have a report from you from staff in just 1 second. Well, while we wait on that, Chair, Commissioners, thank you for coming out tonight. Just as items, oh, well, we got some voting results. As some items from staff, the next commission meeting we'll have is August 21st. We will have items on that agenda for you. We are looking to cancel the September 4th meeting, but back again on September 18th. Of particular note, aside from the important meeting dates there, I did want to introduce the commission to one of our new Planner 2s back here, Jacob Herrera. So you'll be seeing him present relatively soon with some cases before you. So we look forward to seeing that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gleason. Well, welcome. It looks like you're doing your homework. We're excited to have you. So thank you for joining us tonight. Seeing that we are to the end of our meeting, I will go on to the next item, which will be Planning and Zoning Commission updates and reports. Did any commissioner prepare an elaborate report to share? No. Okay, well, we did not. Well, seeing no other further business, I will go ahead and call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.